Hi, I'm Pam from Live Action Puppets. I'm going to teach you about 4 different hand stitches that you will use to make puppets.
First, we have the whip stitch.
I'm going to demonstrate the whip stitch for you. It's used for fur, normally. You take your fur pieces, and normally you'd have 2, but they would be placed right sides together with the fur facing itself. And then I usually use 1 ply of thread. This is button thread, but normally I just use a single ply of Gutermann's. Put your knot in. Put your needle in from the wrong side to the back wrong side and pull through. And then you're going to go to the front and to the back again and pull through over and over and over. It kind of looks like a spiral, actually, going from front to back here. And normally when I sew, I only sew about my stitches actually a little bit tighter together. So closer to 1/8 inch from the edge and then 1/8 inch apart.
Next is the locking whip stitch.
To do the locking whip stitch, it's actually the same motion, but before you pull your thread tight, run your needle through the loop and then pull it tight. It creates a little knot at the top. So this is the locking whip stitch here, and this is the regular whip stitch.
Next is the baseball stitch.
To do the baseball stitch, you actually work from the right side of the fabric and you bob in and out. So I'm going to do that here, even though it's normally done on fleece. So you go from the inside on the right side of the fabric from one side and come out the wrong side in the back. The inside and come out the wrong side in the front. From the inside to the wrong side on the back. And from the inside to the wrong side on the front. So this one you're bobbing back and forth, but your needle coming through the right side out to the wrong side on your front and your back pieces. The resulting stitch looks like a baseball stitch on a baseball, but it's actually better for hiding seams on the fleece fabric than the whip stitch, which is why we use it. And then if I were to end a seam doing the baseball stitch, I would do a locking whip stitch where I send my needle through a couple of times.
The final stitch is the ladder stitch.
To work from the bottom up, you could do top down. The first part is just to pin it carefully in place so that I can end at the right spot and it kind of holds your work. Put the knot your thread and then insert your needle from the wrong side just so that knot can be hidden behind the fabric. Then you're going to take a tiny stitch to the opposite side from where you started, a little way from the seam edge, maybe about an eighth of an inch or 3 millimeters. And then you're going to travel back to the right side and take a little bite out of the fabric. And then you're going to travel to the left and take a little bite out of the fabric with your needle. Just lost my needle. I normally sew this in matching thread, but just so you could see the contrast, I see the threads better, I used contrasting thread. And then go to the right and take a little stitch. Once you've got maybe 4 or 5 ladders, you're going to pull on your stitches and watch the seam close. And then keep going and do a couple more ladders. That's that horizontal. The ladders being the little horizontal threads that make up the stitch. Pull up a little bit there. And then take a little tiny stitch to the right. And to the left. Pull.
The ladder stitch is really handy for closing up the center back seam of a puppet, or doing repairs when you only have access to the right side of the fabric and not easy access to the back side of the fabric. Those are all 4 stitches: the whip stitch, the locking whip stitch, the baseball stitch, and the ladder stitch. My patterns use all 4 of these stitches, and you can buy them at lapuppets.com.